We are live. What it do? What it do? Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of the Deconflicted podcast, where we're here to give you perspectives on the three D's in life: discernment, decisions, and deconfliction. It's your boy, Brian Boggs. I'm here with my brother. Speak for yourself, man.
There it is, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the God. It's your boy Antoine Jarvis, man. Just coming out here. What time is it right now? I think it's like 12 something over here, man. And eight, what is it? 8 something, 9 something your way. Um,
9:33.
there you go, man. And I think that's important because it's one of those things that a lot of people don't see. You know what I'm saying? Like, we making this content when everybody else is sleeping because at the end of the day, we really believe and stand on, what we're presenting to the world. Um,
Right.
so hopefully you guys enjoy this conversation between me and my brother.
Sounds like a plan. So today's topic: should you play the fool to get paid? I'll let you start,
Mm.
bro. What you think?
It's you know what? It's funny because it's so hard because um we live in a jester culture. You know what I'm saying? Where there's more people on social media getting paid to go viral. And the standard to go viral is so challenging to obtain. Everybody's on that time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody wants to do the most goofiest stuff just to go viral. And it's like for me, if I can't maintain my integrity and have a baseline for what I deem as masculine, from my opinion, is masculine, um, then I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice. I can't look myself in the mirror if I had to be on some weird stuff or do it can make a complete fool of myself to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? And I feel
Right.
that if I did do that, then anybody that watches my stuff, like I feel like there has to be a level of accountability, right? But
I
then,
agree.
but then, like you look at hip hop, for example, and then most people be like there isn't a level of accountability. So how do you discern? And this is what this podcast is for right now. How do you discern what is what?
That's a good point, man. Like, so from my perspective, I feel like the only time you should pay the fool to get paid is if you're a comedian, uh, or,
Mm,
or an actor.
I can see that.
Other than that, I think you should, like you say, you should have some integrity about yourself and stand on something, some kind of principles, and don't do goofy stuff for the sake of doing for the sake of doing goofy stuff, thinking you're gonna get paid from it. Like I know people in the workplace that's way more knowledgeable than they boss, but they gotta play dumber to continue to hold that job. Because they don't want to show
Mm.
they boss up. You know, and that was one thing I never rocked with. That's the reason why I didn't last in the army long because they wanted me to be the dumb dude and I couldn't be him.
Yeah,
So
see, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, man.
yeah, I
That's not
couldn't
gonna
do
work.
it, man.
Because now what you're telling me is I gotta dumb myself down just to interact with you. I'd rather just not interact with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just not even fuck with you. Like, there's no need for us to even exchange a dialogue if I feel like I got to come down to your level just to have a conversation like this.
Exactly. And imagine if that's what you got to do at work. You know what I'm saying? When you know you got the idea that can make this company money, but because your boss is this egomaniac and he's an idiot and he don't want to be outshined, you gotta be quiet about it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta try to put it in a manner to make him think it's his idea.
That part, you got
you
to
know?
manipulate them into making them believe it's that. That's ridiculous. That's too much work.
Too much work. Too much work, man. So and this topic it brings the adage, they say that art imitates life, but that's only for the artist. But for the spectators, the audience, it tends to be their life imitates the art that they saw.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So
That's
you
what.
watch a comedian, he say something funny, but and he got a point, he got a point. Now you applying that in your life, like that's how you supposed to be. They do something
Bingo.
like joke.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said I get it, man. This is a tough one because people really out here starving.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's people really out here struggling out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not trying to walk the line of trying to tell you how to get a bag and try to do what tell you what's right. That's not even my thing. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, you know, there should be a level of accountability on because there's power in the tongue.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? There's power in the tongue. So I feel like there should be a level of accountability when we can say something that affects a community that affects thousands of people or hundreds of people that affects one person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should be held accountable for that type of stuff. The problem is most people don't operate from that headspace.
They
They'll do
don't.
anything to get a bag, and I'm like, bro, like that's selling your soul stuff, man. That's not it.
That's not it. It's
You know what I'm
not.
saying? It's really not it because you're still getting treated like a slave. It's
And that's
really
what it
not
all
it.
boiled down to. That's what it boiled down to is that slave mentality, man. And it's been said a lot, lately. But the sad fact of the matter is though is it's true. Because people tend to always want to look at the slave mindset from from a physical bondage, physical shackles, but those mental shackles are worse.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Those be the challenges, man. Because again, most motherfuckers ain't going to no therapist, and then you go to a therapist, man. A lot of them don't even know how to uh, really analyze what you're going through to be able to provide you with meaningful ways to figure things out. A lot of times you just got to figure things out on your own. A lot of times you just got to sit in your own space. If you got to meditate, meditate. If you pray, pray. But sometimes you got to sit your ass down and really contemplate what you're doing and the direction you're trying to go.
I agree.
You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? Because again, if we don't hold ourselves accountable, man, we are selling short the next generation.
exactly. And imagine when you gotta sell your soul, when you gotta be a fool so that you can keep a job or so you can get some money. Imagine what that does to the follow-on generations. Because all it does is it perpetuates a cycle of, hey man, hey, the only way to get paid, man, is be the dumb guy, to act dumb, be dumb. Be the fool, be the court jester.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man.
But we got to do better than that because if we want to, as a culture, be more accountable, be stronger, we got to have a strong mind. And if you're playing a fool, if you're being a court jester, you don't have a strong mind.
Hmm. You right. You're not lying.
For real, for real.
You're not lying. Especially when you said when you say you got to have a strong mind, man. Like it's you gotta be working on that joint daily. Like every day should be working on increasing your mental fortitude, like your mental strength in regards to how you deal with things in life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's so many different ways to get a bag, man. Like to me personally, you don't never have to sell your soul to get a bag.
You
I
don't,
mean,
especially
I
not
mean,
in today's age.
no, I mean, let's be honest. For one, the American dollar isn't backed by anything of value. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So really, it's monopoly money. We just been taught to believe it has value, but really, it's just monopoly money. But we're willing to kill, steal, and destroy for this monopoly money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's the part that blows my mind because we've gravitated towards I gotta listen to this ghetto shit. I gotta listen to the what's that stuff called? Oh, I lost my train of thought. But my whole point behind what I'm saying is when we're dealing with these podcasts and we're dealing with going live and having other people listening in on our conversations, man, and providing feedback on our conversations. you know we not doing it we not doing it for the views. We're not doing it for the likes. We're just doing it to share some game, and potentially if you can utilize it, you can. I understand if mentally where you're at, you feel I have to do things this way for me to get a bag. I get it.
Right.
It's your choice. You know what I'm saying? We're not sitting here saying this is the only way you could do things. That's not, we're not even here to say that. But what we are saying is, man, there should be a level or at least a baseline of how men conduct themselves.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Especially on these podcasts, man. Because if we can't show each other respect on these podcasts, man, like somebody else gonna be watching this stuff, man. Oh, okay, grown men just disrespect each other like that and don't take each other seriously. How you think they're gonna take themselves? They're gonna look at themselves. How you think they're gonna take their relationships?
Yep.
You know what I'm
That's a,
saying?
that's a fact there, man. Because a lot of people, man, have a hard time discerning reality from entertainment. You know.
On God,
You know what I'm
straight up. Why do
saying?
you think that is though? You're not lying, but why do you think that is?
For me, from my perspective, what I think is most people don't have an idea on how to uh, conduct themselves,
Mm,
how to do what they should do in life. So they got to look for something so they can be a reflection of it. And entertainment is always readily available. You know,
that's
it's in
true.
your car, it's on the TV, it's on your computer. And as you trying to figure out what to do with yourself and your life, who you should be, you come across something that entertains you. You say, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna be just like that.
Right. 1 hour later,
Exactly.
2 hour later. You know what I'm saying? 3 hours, like straight up, man. That's how that should be. Like it really be like where did I see that joint at, man? Somebody said the cell phone is a new daycare
Yep,
because parents are saying, "Hey, here, take this phone right here. I gotta go work from the office. So take this phone right here, man, and do what you're supposed to be doing. And I'll be back shortly to check on you."
that's a
And I'm
fact.
like, when did we start doing that, man? It was okay to move like that. Then I realized I was like, well, shit. Like at the end of the day, bro, like you have the choice to move how you want to move, and hopefully you make the right choice. Hopefully you coming on these podcasts and dropping game. But I'm conflicted right there. I'm conflicted right now because I'm like, at the end of the day, you could do what you want to do. It's your podcast, you know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do, get your bag how you see fit. But then the other part of me is like, bruh, like, no, but we gotta be accountable. Like it shouldn't be no way around that. We gotta curve the fuck shit. Cause I mean at the end of the day, like it's not you can still operate from a position of integrity and still get views and still go viral and all that type of
Right.
I'm conflicted.
See, you gotta see. This is people don't have that off switch. You know what I'm saying? Like you got
Mm,
the right to be who you want to be, act how you want to act. But there comes a time where you got to really be who you really are, and not that representation of who you showing yourself to be.
hmm
That facade, and people have made the facade the real person. I mean, think about it. People want to live in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? It's people that would rather be in a virtual world than the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we are gone.
Yeah.
We
Like,
are. We've checked out of reality.
check out of reality.
Damn. I forgot about that. You're right. You are definitely so again, that's why I say I'm so conflicted because I'm like, I know for a fact people are gonna be in these comments and be like, they dropping some jewels. You know what I'm saying? And then they gonna turn on YouTube and see a nigga do some goofy ass shit and you're like, man, like what are we doing selling ourselves that short? Like we owe it to ourselves to be great. We owe it to ourselves to excel. We owe it to ourselves to push ourselves to the limit and see what we're capable of conquering. Like see what we're capable of accomplishing in life.
Right.
And it's like it's like you're wasting air. Then you're not really showing the next generation how to conduct yourself.
Exactly. All they see is the fool,
All they see is the fool, the court gesture.
the court jester. You know what I'm
All they see is a
saying?
damn court jester, man. You were not lying. And
All they
therein
see.
lies the problem because when do you grow out of that?
Hey, that's that's a
You know what I'm
poignant.
saying?
That's a very poignant point.
When do
It's
you
sad
say,
they don't.
I'm gonna be a man and put away all those childish things? That's a tough one. Because
It's a
niggas want to
tough
be in
one,
the in the meta in the meta world.
and I ain't want to tell a person how they live their life. Like I say, man, live your life how
Right.
you see fit.
Correct.
But the on the flip side of that coin, though, is always understand that it's somebody that's and you're not accountable for how someone else views you and
Right.
uses you as a barometer for who they should be. But when we interact with each other, that 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 fool is counterproductive.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
because when you try and get the real solutions, you getting that fake shit.
And I think that's so hard for so many youth to understand, man. Like how do they figure out what's the real shit and what's the fake? Because just because you got a bag, you real? Nah,
Not at all.
there's a bunch of there's a bunch of multi-million dollar rats.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight the hell up, man. Like
Snakes.
straight up. So that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, bro, like for one, you gotta do what makes sense to what makes sense to you, but your spirit and your heart should be leading you to say, man, I ain't got no business treating these kids like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need to be accountable, and me personally, I don't feel like that's hard to do.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That is it's I don't think it's hard to do because again, like we were talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you should want to be a man. You should want to operate like a man. You should want to conduct yourself like a man. And sometimes, you may be a little aggressive. Sometimes you may fall back.
Exactly.
That spectrum is what it is to be a man. There's nothing toxic about it.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, we can disagree, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing toxic about my masculinity. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
again, it's one of those things where you sit there and think back, and you're like, man, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because tomorrow's not promised. So what are we doing with the time that we have right now? What are we doing to make an impact on the next person? Should be the thoughts that go through our head. Should be.
Should be. But there's
You
a
know what I'm
lot of
saying?
narcissists out there, where the only person that matters is them.
Mm, you're right.
You know, and,
You're
and,
right.
and I got narcissists in my family. I got ex friends that are narcissists. I probably got a friend or two that's a narcissist.
Hmm.
Um, and it's it's not a healthy thing, and it definitely retards the growth of a
Mm.
relationship. But we have to to learn how to operate with each other better, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and remove our for the. And I know for the narcissist, it's hard for them to do it, but you got to be able to remove yourself from a situation and look at it for what the situation is,
Mm-hmm.
and see how to make it better.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking is what I'm hearing. Critical thinking is a game changer that if we can get that down, we'll be okay.
I agree. Another thing I think, and a lot of people struggle with this root cause analysis.
Root cause analysis.
Yes,
Tell me about that.
root cause analysis. So it's when you're looking for what the real reason why something is broke or why something isn't working right. Not the surface reason, the real reason, the root cause. And a lot
Okay.
of relationships, because people always want to say, well, it's because of this, but normally it's something deeper that they ain't took the time to really look at
That's true.
to get to the real reason. Like I had a conversation with my sister, and we were talking about her saving because she likes to go out to eat. And I was like, so how you going to save some money? She's like, well, I'm going to stop going out to eat. I'm going to start cooking. I said, but that's not the problem. What I'm going to do this? That's not the problem. Do you know what the real problem is? Because she made a comment. She's like, well, I work hard, so I think I deserve to go out to eat. I
Yeah.
said, the real problem is in your head, your reward is going out to eat. So until you change
Yeah.
your reward system in your head, you ain't gonna never fix that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the power. Yeah. 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 You got to. You got to change. You got to change that reward system.
Exactly.
You got to
You
change
know?
that. I like that concept right there. You got to
Yeah, it ain't
change
got
that
nothing to do
reward
with the cooking
system.
at home it ain't about the cooking. It's about your reward system. And
Yeah,
that's what that root cause analysis comes in.
that makes sense. And again, like we're seeing a generation of children in their teens and early 20s, and they're doing their best, man. They're trying to figure it out. Who to follow. You know what I'm saying? Who to listen to. All that type of stuff, man. And it's like we do live in an era right now where fame is worshipped than real. Fame has more value. You know what I'm saying? Than realness.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Um, which is ludicrous to me, but I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to find a savior. I get it. You
And
know
it's
what I'm
crazy
saying?
when you think about artists back in the day where they would choose fame over money. Look, hey, you can get all the money or you can get all the fame. Hey man, give me all the fame. Like what?
Straight up. Because you could be famous as hell and hella broke. You know what I'm saying? You can be famous as hell and be hella broke. Matter of fact, but they say majority of these dudes out there today are hella broke.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So technically, what was working before is not really working. So it's okay to change things up. It's okay to stand on business.
Yep.
But I get it. For some people, it's a challenge. It's extremely difficult. Ain't nobody trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like memorize everything you told a person, so that way you say everything correctly. I'm like, man, like this is why all these little kids is lying. You know what I'm saying? Like because nobody's teaching them anything else. Nobody's teaching them otherwise. So they're gonna
Not
lie to you thinking that that's they mom, dad, this is what I want you to hear, this is what I think you want to hear. So I'm gonna tell you what I think you want to hear. And it's like they don't even know how to tell the truth.
exactly. Because they only regurgitating what they've seen and heard, because
Hmm.
they've been lied to. They're like, hey, I'm gonna take you here. When that time comes down, you don't take them. You know what I'm saying? They've been lied to constantly. So they start to understand that, okay, lying is par for the course.
Hmm.
Yep.
Straight up. You gotta catch me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't catch me, that's on you. But I'm like, man, like it's still leaving people in a messed up situation. And again, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not choosing one over the other because we both, got some things we gotta deal with, because women is out here talking about if women are out here talking about, why don't you just be honest? Why don't you just tell me the truth? Well, baby girl, you didn't tell me you were sleeping with this dude over here for a meal. Did you tell him? Did you tell him,
Exactly.
hey, bro, the only reason I'm going on this date because I'm hungry? Nah, come on now, like, so I get it, right? I
Exa-
totally get it, but I still feel like the next generation is watching.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you dope. Dope sells itself. The next generation is watching. And because they're watching, again, like I said, it's up to us to provide a better example, man.
Facts.
Just a simple baseline of how to conduct yourself as a man.
Exactly. And that's why me, my entire life, I've always made the conscious decision to stand on the principles I have as a person. Not saying that my principles are right, not saying my principles are wrong, but they are principles that are utilized in lieu of better principles. If I
Mm,
see something, if I hear a principle that makes a little bit more sense than the principle I currently utilize, I'll tweak it and make it more applicable. But you gotta start somewhere.
you got to start somewhere,
You
man.
gotta start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. And you got to respect yourself and value yourself enough to know that this whole, not being open and honest about how you moving, man, is only going to set up the next generation for failure. You know what I'm saying? What was that dude's name? Boot Gang. I think the dude's name is, man. He got viral for stealing from people. They called it the Boot Gang. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say Boot Gang, that means you just robbed somebody and took off running hella fast.
Oh, for real?
And oh yeah. This a few years ago, but this was a thing. Like this dude was really on camera. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me go ahead and get this up off you. Pew, and he would take it from you and just take off running, and you would never catch him. And it became viral over that stuff, man. He ended up on drugs and some more stuff. And again, this is the part. That's another part they're not telling them. That fame comes with a cost.
Exactly. Especially when the fame ain't that, it's not healthy fame. when
No,
you're getting fame from negative activity, it eats at your soul.
straight the hell up. And that's what I'm like, man. Like I love when you said eats at your soul because when it comes down to the nitty gritty, man, that's exactly what it's doing.
Yeah,
All for a quick dollar.
for a
The
quick
more
dollar.
the deep you get, the deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper you go into this joint, man. It's like for a quick dollar, you did that, and then what I'm saying, all the women are half naked, and I'm like, man, like we got to do better as a culture. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like again, I'm not pointing nobody out in particular. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, but on the grand scheme of things, man, we got to be able to market our energy to to the next generation and have them learn from that, take that and run with that. You know what I'm saying? We should never want our children and nephews and nieces to be in a worse situation than we grew up in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it really requires a mental inventory, if you will.
I like that. Mental inventory. What tools do you got in your mental toolbox?
What
You know what
tools you
I'm
got in your
saying?
mental toolbox, man? Are you what are you doing to personally develop yourself? Personal development is so damn important. Like what are you doing? Are you in the gym? You know what I'm saying? If you're
Right.
not in the gym, are you reading something? You know what I'm saying? Like it,
What are you
right.
eating?
You know what I'm saying? Like right, man. And I'm like and it's like, man, I see because I was, you know what I'm saying, I was them younger dudes looking up to the older cats.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Without social media, without any of that type of stuff. I was that younger dude, you know. I was that younger dude listening to the older cats. You know what I'm saying? So I remember the mentality I had. Like, you know what I'm saying? These dudes gotta know. These dudes gotta know how life goes. So I'm just gonna listen to whatever they tell me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, it's 2022. Like, you don't have to today. Anything anybody tells you, you can literally Google it.
You can Google it.
You can Google it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can Google it. Like in worst case scenario, you got your you got a whole area that you could go to if you want to just walk around and just practice some critical thinking and just get away from the crowd, if you will. Just get away from the crowd and just say, you know what, let me think about this. Let me meditate on this.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be hard. It should be rocket science. I get that it is, right? Critical thinking and common sense is not common. You understand what I'm saying? So I get it. I completely understand, but I'm like, man, like we control the narrative.
that's the key right there.
All these brands need us. We control the narrative.
We control the narrative of our lives. You decide which way you go.
Yep.
You decide what you do.
Yep. We
You
control the
know,
narrative.
but
Whether it's music or entertainment, we control that joint.
100%. Yeah, and I'm going back to the tools. Like, man, that's real talk, right? That's real spit. Because I think when you were saying when you were looking up, you looked up to the guys, but when you're the youngster, and the one thing that was me that was a little different, and I was blessed because I had my friend's dad. He was a solid man,
Mm.
and he spoke real with me. A lot of guys in the neighborhood, when I would look at them, I always looked at them like, that's what I don't want to do.
Mm.
That's what I don't want to do. I'm like, okay,
Right.
this dude, 30 years old, he been in the neighborhood since he was a kid. He ain't trying to move. He don't want to
Mm.
leave. This is his life. There's more to life than this.
There's more than life. There is so much more than life,
There's
man.
so much more to
So
life
much more than
than,
life.
than that little block. And
Hmm.
I didn't want to be stuck on the block. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to really have a real life existence.
Mm.
You know?
You wanted it to all mean something. You wanted it to all
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
wanted a real life
Yeah.
existence, and in
You're
doing
right.
that, that's why I couldn't play the fool. Because when you want a real life existence, you can't play the fool.
No. Because you already
Yeah,
because you already know you're bigger than life.
exactly. Because you already know, like, nah, I can't reduce myself to what you think I need to reduce myself to just to get a dollar. I can't. I'm 10 feet tall. You want me to act like I'm 1 foot tall so I can get paid? I'm sorry, I can't do
Mm.
that.
Yeah. All for a dollar.
All for a dollar.
But they say, you want me to do something strange for a little bit of change.
Exactly.
That's what you're telling me. You want me to do something strange for a little bit of change. Yeah. I got you.
Hey,
Yeah. I
that's for the
got you.
hookers.
And it,
Not for
go ahead,
me.
brother.
No, I
And
was
so
saying
so
no. The strangest of change. I said that's for the hookers. I can't do
no, not at all. And to touch on the tools that you brought up again is um just to drop a few, man. And what one thing that's been working for me is reading.
it. Yeah,
It's such an underrated art.
it's
You
a
know what
game
I'm
changer.
saying? It's a game changer, man. Like, and audiobooks. Like, you don't have to, if you don't have the time, have somebody else read that joint to you
Yep,
with an audiobook. Like that is real personal development because you're working on yourself.
exactly.
Most people don't want to look themselves in the mirror,
People like
in the
being
mirror.
ignorant.
They like being ignorant, which is nuts to me.
I know.
That joint, that is nuts to me. Like it just don't make no sense, man. Like, but again, everybody has somebody that they trust for the most part. Have they can trust that's in their circle that they can tap in with, understanding how things are done, understanding, what plays to make. Listen, there are so many self-help books out there, so many self-help books, man. Like there's no reason why we keep moving backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I want to expound upon what you were saying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop your thought if you were still going.
No, you good, brother. You good.
Okay. With the everybody got somebody in their circle that they could tap in with. And I agree with that with a caveat. Because before you could tap into anybody, you got to tap into yourself.
That's
And that's
facts.
why you got to get the self-help books. That's why you got to do that self-discovery. Because until you really figure out who you are and what you should be, you can't find that the person to tap in with to help move you along even further. Because what's going to
That's
happen is you're
true.
going to tap in with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? It might bring you further back.
Yeah. It has the potential. It has the potential to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And this is why I always say, like, make sure you focus on paving your own way. You know what I'm saying? Don't beg people for handouts. You see what I'm saying? Like, make sure you know what your value is. Like, who's the dude's name? Fat Joe. Fat Joe said yesterday's price is not today's price.
exactly.
And when I listen to, I think of that, I'm like, because that's what happened. That's how it works. And you're constantly elevating and elevating and elevating. You elevating your game and upping your game. It's like how we did things yesterday is not how we're doing things today.
Facts. And Jay Z had the coldest line of them all.
What do he say?
Niggas know the price of everything and the value of nothing.
Mm, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's facts. The prices for everything and the value of nothing. That's facts.
Exactly.
God, dog. Yeah, that's facts. And again, like I said, this is why these type of conversations need to be had. And again, like with the comment section, people can literally use the comment section to have these. They have an open dialogue to be able to build with the, what I'm saying, build with a person that's on some positive stuff.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it's common sense is not that common, man. You see what I'm saying? It's not that common, man.
I
But
agree.
we live and we learn, and we try our best to do our best and be better versions of ourselves, and um just stay positive. I think that's the most important thing, is just staying positive. No matter the outlook, no matter how hard it is, stay positive.
Let
You
me
know what I'm
tell you,
saying?
man. When I go places and people say, "How you doing?" I always tell them, "I woke up. My day is great because the rest is
Yeah,
on me." You know what I'm
that's on
saying?
you. Yeah, I remember
Hey,
you told me that before. I like that. Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You told me that before.
yeah. You know what
I
I'm
was like,
saying?
he's not lying.
Exactly. The rest is on me.
Yeah, it's on me. He's not lying, man. It's totally up to me. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like it's the only savior you're gonna ever have is gonna be you.
Facts. If you don't believe in you, your belief in any higher power is not gonna work.
Yep. What's
It's
the
not gonna
saying?
work.
What is that? Believe anything, believe nothing, but you'll fall for everything. What's that saying?
Uh,
Uh,
if you don't, hold on, I know what you. I can't think of saying it right now. Either.
man, I cannot. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to
Yeah.
process. You know what I mean? We got the bulk of, what we wanted to convey to the people, man, and really just share with the minds who are just open minded enough to look at things from a different perspective.
Exactly, and that's what it's all is. It's all.
That's all it is, man. We don't have the magic bullet, magic potion, magic key, none of that type of stuff. You
And
know
that's
what
the
I'm
thing that's
saying?
crazy. It's like you could take the same scenario and look at it from three different perspectives,
Hmm.
and it has three different outcomes from the same scenario. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
just how
crazy.
the outcome is viewed.
That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it boils down to. You know what I'm saying? That's all it boils down to, man.
For
That's all it
real.
boils down to. And that's why I say, I stand on the idea of really, and again, it's just my understanding of it is it's important that we hold ourselves accountable for the next generation.
I agree. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, another good one in the books.
Absolutely. I know you tired over there, brother. So, and I know you
Man,
got to get them wheels turning in a little
in
bit.
about 5 hours. Yeah, about 5 hours, man. I gotta hit the road, Jack.
All right. Well, don't you come back.
You knew I was going with that, Jordan.
Already know, brother. I already know. Well, hey.
Hey,
Do you think you got anything you want to leave with the folks?
man, just be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You- don't focus on anybody else outside of yourself. You know what I mean? Focus on holding yourself accountable, and then once you go through the growing pains, you're going to start growing through those growing pains. And once you start doing that, man, then your lifestyle is a reflection of how you view yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then by default, people going to stop playing with you.
Yep.
They're going to look at you differently. You move differently. But it really starts with you holding yourself accountable, and then from there just choosing to grow. And then once you choose to grow, man, like it's an endless amount of information, man, that you have access to, and you got a supercomputer. So that's I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. And what you got, brother?
Hey, man, I think you summed it up pretty nicely, man. So I don't want to put no sauce on it. It's already saucy.
There you go. Hey, hit
You
it with
know
the
what I'm
little
saying? Get the salt bay. You know what I'm saying? That's
hit it with the salt, bag, man. Hey, listen, man. If it don't require no hot sauce or no barbecue sauce, man, I'm just gonna eat it as is.
I'm gonna just eat it as is.
I'm
Hey,
gonna eat it
hey,
as
you
is,
seasoned that
man.
up pretty damn well, brother. We're gonna leave it right there.
I appreciate it, man. Peace to the guys, man. You enjoy the rest of your night, brother. And I'll
Same
be
here,
talking to
same
you
here.
shortly.
All right, people.